Let me guess, you have been spammed or pitched in a LinkedIn message before and it left a very bad taste in your mouth. I get it, but don't let those LinkedIn losers dissuade you from using the platform. When done right, LinkedIn is a place full of amazing opportunities and people to connect with, and today I'm going to show you how. Welcome to the Creating Opportunities podcast. This is the place where we help smart, ambitious professionals build authentic relationships for success in all areas of their lives. Why? Because people make life better. I'm your host, Cassandra. I am a speaker, a trainer, a coach, an iced coffee lover, and I can't wait to help you make deeper connections. Okay, so to master networking in the digital space, specifically LinkedIn, we actually need to think of this very much like building relationships in real life. For example, if you went to a party, you're not going to walk up to a group of people at that party, look at one person in the group and go, "Hi, do you want to go on a date next week?" Or even worse, go, "Hi, do you want to get married next week?" Like, that is beyond strange. And yet, people try to skip the get to know you steps online, and specifically on LinkedIn. They go straight to messaging you and saying, "Hi, let's connect and let's set up a Zoom chat. I don't know you," or worse, "Hey, buy my product," right? Zoom chat is let's go on a date. Buy my product is let's get married. You don't know them yet. So just like at a party in real life, you need to meet people and build that relationship before we make any sort of ask of them. Now, I'm going to show you how. But first, really, this is a reminder that we all need patience. Okay? We all need patience when building relationships. We want to skip straight to the end, and we can't. You need to work at this relationship just like any other relationship. So to start, we need to go where the people are, the online parties, if you will. And for me, I would say those are mainly groups on LinkedIn, connecting in the comments on people who are really actively posting on LinkedIn. And then if you're a person who misses Clubhouse, LinkedIn has audio lives that are exactly the way Clubhouse runs. Now, they're not my personal preference, but they are what I would consider a LinkedIn party that you can go invite yourself to. Oh, and stick with me because we're going to talk about how to network our way through these groups and build relationships. But then at the end of this, I am going to give you another way to start networking on LinkedIn that is overlooked all the time, and it is right in front of us. So stay till the end. Okay, so first things first, you're going to find some groups, you're going to find some active people on LinkedIn, or you're going to find some LinkedIn audio lives to join. And then, not rocket science here, but we need to be a part of those conversations. So start meaningfully contributing in those groups. You know, don't just say, "Great post idea," but give a yes and. Now, I will say, don't be contrarian. Sometimes I think there's a group of people that they think to have any sort of thought leadership status or exert any sort of authority on LinkedIn, they think they need to go against the grain and be combative with the person who wrote the post. You don't. So it's okay to disagree, but I always like to start with a yes and. So think about, what did they say that you can contribute more to the conversation? Or in a group post, what is the question being posed? How would you answer it? And then, key, don't comment on the post itself, right? To the person who wrote the post. Be in the comments. Respond to other people in the comments. You know, "I like when you said this. Can you tell me more of what you meant by it?" Start being a part of the actual conversation. Similar to going to a party and walking up to a group of people, you're going to kind of listen to everybody and you're going to contribute, but you're also going to ask other people in the group questions. You're going to start an actual dialogue. You can do the same thing on LinkedIn. This is actually something that when you find the groups where this is happening and the posts where this is happening, it's a really nice feature of LinkedIn because other than Facebook, it's the only platform where I see actual conversations happening instead of just posts to the main contributor. And unlike Facebook, it's not as nasty and dirty 99% of the time. It's a lot more cordial and thoughtful, as long as you are not a massive descendant of the post. Descendant? Is that the right word? If you're not causing dissonance? We're using big words over here today. But Just don't go against the grain the whole time. And then once you've done this for a while, and by a while, I mean like a week, 2 weeks, you're going to start seeing other people who regularly show up to these posts. You're going to notice that you start regularly liking certain people's posts and certain people's thoughts and comments in posts. This is a great time to then try and connect with those people. So send them a connection invite and add a message. Tell them how you liked what they said. Tell them how you like some of the things they're talking about and you'd love to connect and get to know them better. But before we get to talking about what to do with those connections, I just want to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by my one-on-one coaching program, Authentically Build Your Reputation with LinkedIn. In today's competitive job market, standing out is essential, and that is where LinkedIn comes in. It's the ultimate platform for connecting with industry leaders and showing your expertise. But navigating LinkedIn can be daunting, especially when you are trying to stand out from the crowd of thousands of other professionals. And that's why I'm bringing you a game-changing coaching program designed specifically for smart, ambitious professionals like you. With Authentically Build Your Reputation on LinkedIn, you'll learn how to leverage LinkedIn's powerful tools to establish yourself as a thought leader in your field and create more career opportunities. In just 4 sessions, I will guide you through the essentials of LinkedIn, from optimizing your profile to connecting with people, to creating engaging posts that get you traction and build an audience. No more aimlessly scrolling your feed or sending out generic connection requests. With my expert guidance, you'll learn how to make genuine relationships and create a lasting impact on LinkedIn. So don't miss out on this opportunity to elevate your professional brand and create new career opportunities on LinkedIn. Sign up now and let's start building your LinkedIn legacy together. Okay, so back to it. You have sent a connection request. Now, if they accept, we want to try and get a back and forth going, a little bit of an online private conversation. This doesn't have to be long. This doesn't have to be deep, but we don't want to just connect and ghost. So after they've accepted, send them a message and say, thanks for accepting. I'd love to know a little bit more about you. What's one thing you're working on that you're really excited about? Something like that. A very easy question, not 5 questions, not something that needs paragraphs written about it, just a quick, easy answer from them. And then if they write you, respond back, right? We want to start having a little bit of a back and forth. And then this is where it can get really interesting. If you can get people kind of talking back and forth with you, which I will admit, not everyone will do. We'll talk about that part more in a second. But if you get that going, try and move to a Zoom one-on-one chat. Say, hey, I really love what you're talking about. I love what we're sharing, but would you be open to doing a 20-minute Zoom so we can just get to know each other a little bit better? And if you get to that point of getting the Zoom chat, you are now a networking master online. So then you have to master just the relationship building skills in general, which we will talk about in an upcoming video and episode. I already sort of mentioned it, but there is one thing you have to really remember when you're in this process. Not everyone is going to make it to the Zoom level, and that's okay. Heck, not everyone's even going to accept your invitation, right? Don't beat yourself up about this. And don't think that, as I say, like, oh, I want you to build relationships, that you have to take every relationship to a one-on-one and go deeper. Just like in real life where you meet people day in and day out, they do not all become your new best friend, your new favorite coworker, or your new client. So it's the same thing when we meet people online. But unfortunately, online, it tends to be the opposite, where we just meet a bunch of people and never take anyone deeper. And so you need to at least try to deepen some relationships so that we get more opportunities out of life, and so do they. So basically, I just want you to know that you can be okay with the fact that not every connection is going to come to a deep relationship. Some of them will just be your LinkedIn commenting compadres, and that is totally fine. However, those commenting buddies are still people that we want to try and care for when we can and show up for, even if we don't have the deepest of relationships. So when opportunities come and you think of those people too, send those opportunities their way. Oh, and don't think I forgot about telling you about that other way, that's often overlooked way to be a networking master on LinkedIn. Get ready for it. It is reviving the connections you already have. So no shame here, but raise your hand if you have been connecting with people, collecting those connections, and then not doing a darn thing with them. This is truly an accidental byproduct of how LinkedIn works. We find someone that we think is interesting, or we meet someone at an event and we connect with them on LinkedIn, and then that's it. They just kind of sit in this horde of connections that we never check in on. So start checking in on those connections. I don't care if it's been years, just write that person and say, hey, I thought of you today. You know, I know it's been a long time, but if you have a minute, let me know what you're up to. Or maybe it's someone you've only met online. That's okay. Be honest. We forget that honesty can be used if done politely, right? So say, hey, I've realized that I connect with people on LinkedIn and then I never really get to know more about them. I want to remedy that. So I would love to know more about you. Again, what's one thing you're working on right now that really excites you? Or what's one thing that doesn't show on your LinkedIn profile, but that's the core of who you are, or something you want people to know about you. I mean, there are so many ways to go about this, but just start reaching out to all those connections you made that are just sitting there. So I challenge you to start making more digital connections today and become a networking master on LinkedIn. Start by joining one group, finding one person who posts actively and contributing to their comments, or join a LinkedIn audio live and then go to connections and just connect, message 1, 2 people in those connections. It's honestly really fun. And you know, we never know where it can lead. So let me know in the comments which step you are going to take today. And if you need help with connecting with people but aren't quite sure what to say, well, I have a whole guide of templates for you to copy and paste. It's called the But What Do I Say Guide of Connection Messages. You can find that in the description box or in the show notes. It's totally free to you. And if you are wondering how in the world to follow up after this, how to start keeping those connections going and building those relationships, right, without maybe doing it too often, well, the next episode is for you. As soon as it's done, I will put it in a card right here, but stay tuned and I will see you in that next one. Bye.